gonna grab a knife. Here we are. And we're going to start prepping to make the risotto and the scallops. So, I love making risotto. I make a couple different kinds of it, and it's so customizable, kind of like pesto, which is really great. And so I'm gonna start off with some shallots that I'm gonna put in the bottom. And we'll just fry those up with some other aromatics and we'll be all set. So yeah, I really like making lobster risotto. I enjoy making, I made this great leek risotto. Asparagus and artichoke risotto is awesome in the spring, and so I do that. It's kind of my go-to when I need to make a meal that's really going to impress people because it's beautiful and people kind of consider it to be really difficult. It's actually not, and you'll see from how I'm making it that it's actually really approachable, and people don't know that. Okay, so get a nice chop on those shallots here. Come on in a little closer. I love the smell of fresh shallots, right? Delicious. And they're just like a fancier version of onions. Whenever I can use shallots instead of onions, I'm here for it, right? And they don't have to be perfect, just nice and small. And I'm kind of gonna mirror the size of my minced garlic. So we have a lot of little bursts of flavor. Okay, so here we are. Got some shallots ready. And that's pretty much all I need to cut up for the risotto. So rinse my hands off, and I'm gonna show you a really cool trick about how to prep scallops. So I've got some scallops here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dry brine them. So I have been really into dry brining lately because it brings so much flavor into meat and into seafood, especially steak and turkey. So I've got these scallops here, and one of the most important things about scallops is to, one, remove the toe, and I'll show you, assuming that these have toes on them. They do. It's that little part right there. It's kind of tough, a little bit creepy to call it a toe, but that's what it is. And we're going to just chop it off, and it kind of blends into the scallop. So you gotta kind of remember where you found it, and then snip it. So we're gonna cut all these toes off, and some of them don't have them. They're the lucky ones. Okay. Yeah, actually a lot of them. Oh, this is a really good toe. Okay, look at this one. That right there. Nobody wants a bite of that next to their risotto. We're taking it off. So yeah, this method of making scallops pretty much makes it foolproof. Scallops, I think, are another thing that people assume are made in restaurants and not approachable for the home chef, but they actually are if you do them my way. And it's actually not my way. I have a favorite food blog, and it's called Serious Eats, and that blog actually taught me how to make scallops. So this is their method. All right, so right over here, we've got the scallops, and we're gonna pat them dry. So you'll just take paper towels, it's really simple, and dry these little guys. Okay. So, I don't know about you, but I really like seafood. Pretty much all kinds. I can't think of any type of seafood that I don't enjoy. I would say my favorite is probably lobster. Really like lobster. I also really like crab legs. I'll tell you a funny story. My favorite place to get crab legs, it isn't any fine dining, uppity, fancy Chicago Michelin-starred restaurant. Actually, I like to get my crab legs from Hooters. Another funny thing about me, I like to go to Hooters in pretty much every city I visit. So I've been to Hooters all over the country and kind of starting to go to Hooters all over the world. I went to Thailand last November and there was a Hooters in Bangkok. Yeah, I was all over that. All right, so yeah, they have excellent crab legs and they're pretty affordable, which is actually not surprising. But all right, our scallops are dry. Toss this. Okay, And then we're gonna just salt them. Got some salt right here, and I'm gonna wash my hands right quick. Sanitation is important. I learned that from my mom. So my mom is a dietitian and food director for a nursing home, actually, back in our hometown. And so she knows all about health inspections and food safety regulations. So I get a lot of that from her. I try to be compliant. Everybody slips up a little bit, but we're not gonna put scallopy hands in the salt dish. Okay, so all we're going to do is salt these, actually. That is the only seasoning that we are putting on the scallops. Trust me, it works. I know it sounds too simple, but it's not. And you want to salt them liberally. And you'll see that we'll pat some of this off later, but got some tongs here, and we're gonna flip them over like that and salt the other side. Then what we're gonna do is stick these in the fridge uncovered, and really only need 10 to 15 minutes according to the blog that I read, but you know, you can leave them in there for longer. We're gonna leave them in there a little bit longer because we're gonna be making risotto while these are drying out in the fridge. And what we're basically doing is pulling a lot of the moisture out of these and letting the salt soak in and flavor them. And when you pull the moisture out, they're gonna get a beautiful sear. So.